I'm going to be going over some of the ads that are going with some of the biggest people on the internet right now. Tony Robbins, Marie Forleo, even David Dobrik. So get ready to go. I'm going to react to that, show you guys what I think could be improved, and also show you behind the scenes of what they're doing. So let's get into it. Okay, so for those who don't know, and if you're wondering how to get more help with ads or just help yourself to have a better, more profitable business, make sure to go check out this channel and check out the videos above. I'll put a playlist above as well when getting started with Facebook and Instagram ads. As fun fact, I actually just did an experiment about a month ago or so, testing LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Facebook ads, and even with the same variables, the same budget relative to the industry, and so forth, Facebook still came out on top on having the best type of results for the cheapest price. So that's why seeing these people still use Facebook and Instagram ads is not super surprising to me. But I want to make sure that I show you what is some things that they're doing good, what's some things that are not so good, and what can you take away from when you're trying to create your own ads, and also just figure out what's really working. And if you don't know, hello, my name is Danielle. I'm an ads and conversion strategist. I help coaches and course creators be able to fill up their spots with ease, grow their audience, and really harness the power of creating a true audience of buyers through actual Facebook and Instagram ads, along with adding and infusing in buyer and conversion psychology. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're actually going to use, if you watched the last video that I did on conversion rates and the 4 ways to increase those for your ads, make sure to check out that because I do introduce what is the Facebook ads library. So for those who don't know, the Facebook ads library is something where you can actually type in any type of Facebook page that's currently running and see if they're running ads, and if they are, actually the graphics they're using or videos and copy, and even where they're trying to take those people from the ad to actually go to their landing page or wherever they're trying to go. So this is gonna be really fun for those who've either never used it before or haven't really known how to use it. So I want to start with one of the bigger people that people know, whether good or bad, is Tony Robbins. He is someone who is, one of the biggest people I think in self-development and in the business realm, and not surprising is running a lot of Facebook ads, along with probably YouTube and so forth. But I want to keep this really specific to Facebook as well. In case you do want to go into this, I'll put in the link below so you can try it out for yourself. One thing I will say for those who don't know, make sure if you're going to go into this that you actually put on an ad blocker onto your Chrome or your Google Chrome. I use Google Chrome because it's really important. If you don't want to get these people's ads right after you search for them, that'll help you so that you don't get their ads a day or two later, because essentially what Facebook ads do is they see whoever actually clicks on your ads or your landing page or your business page and Facebook page, and they put you into their audience of people to target, which means you'll see their ads unless you have ad blocker that stops that. So just put that out there. It's free to do. It's free to get an ad blocker, and for those who don't want to be targeted by these people, that's what you can do. So let's try out and put in Tony Robbins. You can see I was already looking up people before just to see who was actually running ads and what would be fun for you guys to see. So the first thing you'll see here, it'll show you the number of likes, his Instagram, if it's connected to it. For most people, if you're running ads, I recommend having your business, whatever is your main business Instagram account, to be actually connected to it, so it can run on both Facebook and Instagram and allow for it to be like a seamless brand integration. You'll see here there's a couple actually new things here. So I would say probably starting last year, when election ads became really prevalent, they started asking, hey, are these ads actually going to elections or politics? If so, you have to click a button, because they want to make sure Facebook wise is that you're not going to go crazy with it. So you'll see here that some of them might be spending money on social issues, elections, or politics, and you can kind of see where that's going. It's not saying that's their ad spend for their full ads at all. What it's just showing you is that for the ads that they had that might have mentioned something about politics or elections, that's here. The last things are on here. You'll see I'm filtering it by US. I think for him, he's probably just doing US and Canada and probably other ones as well. We're going to stick to the US. And then it shows also that his page name changed one time. So you'll see if anyone ever changes their Facebook page name, you can see that here too. It's Facebook's way of trying to be transparent. So let's go into it. So the first thing you're gonna do is like whenever you scroll down, you'll be able to see if they're doing a lot of ads or anything at all. It'll also show you the different variations of ads. For example, something that I do with my clients is it might be a very similar graphic we use, but the copy might be a little bit different. Or for him, most likely, he has a really good running ad, but because he's wanting to target a variety of audiences, he just duplicates that graphic and that copy and has it run to like different people. With Facebook ad library, you're not able to see who they're actually targeting, like the audiences they're using, but you're able to see their copy and create it to help give you some type of inspiration or also just see what's working for them. So the first thing you're going to see for him, you can also see when they started running the ads, which is really cool. So he says a results coach. For those who don't know, I think Tony Robbins has result coaches who's kind of like people underneath him that he's trained or that they've gone through something to be able to get results from that. So results, yeah, a results coach is your secret weapon to turn today's challenges into biggest opportunities of your lifetime. Their way of trying not to and the first time ever you can double the impact of coaching when you sign up today. You'll get free sessions to give for someone else. Sorry, I have a hard time when I read these type of things because then it just goes into what I call, or what I've heard a while ago called bro marketing, where it just all sounds the same. Take advantage of this win-win limited time only offer. So because he has such a huge audience, he can't be really specific in the results. Like, what results are they trying to get for your audience? Do they want to lose weight? Do they want to get make $1,000? Do they want to have a better relationship? Because he's trying to kind of win over everyone, he's also losing everyone as well. Again, he's such a huge industry and such a huge person that it's easier for him to be this big. But if you're starting out with ads, I say go the exact opposite and go really specific. Like, have your one person know what they're trying to like actually go into and put that all up in your copy. Because for me, if I was someone to read this and I was like, what's a results coach? First question. Then I would say, free sessions. Why does it matter if I need to do free sessions? So to me, again, I'm going from the lens, I'm being a little bit more critical than normal for most ads, but it's because I want to make sure for those who are listening, like, this might work for him and it possibly could work for you a little bit, but because he has a lot of brand recognition, he can do things like this and it not and not have as hard of a time. Where someone like you who might be just starting out, it might be a little bit harder for you to get that off the ground. So that's just the first variation. I'm not going to go through all the variations. I'll probably do a couple of these and then move on to the next person. So let's go with same thing. But again, what I told you before, they're trying to apparently sell like free sessions or something like that, and they're doing different graphics and different offers, well, different audiences and so forth. So you'll see here, it's all the same graphic, but these two are two different copies. So get the tools you need to turn into action. Okay, so this is a little bit better, I guess. It talks about like doers and givers and like fan achievers. But again, I just have a hard time seeing this type of thing and saying, you know, who's gonna buy it because they don't really know what they're gonna get. I mean, they assume results coach means you're gonna get results, but what even type of results? Graphic wise, forgot to say, the graphics that do really well on here really depends on how your audience takes it. For most people, doing actual graphics to face the camera is a lot better. But again, because he's a brand now, he's not really a person anymore. He doesn't have the luxury of just showing his face all the time because he's doing whatever he's doing tour wise. So you'll see they're using a lot of stock images, which again kind of like creates that disconnection point. Like, I don't feel connected to this person or this copy whatsoever because I don't really see him or see that, because again, he's elevated so much to a higher brand. Okay, last thing you're gonna see here that I'm gonna go into is products. Okay, for those who are like listening to this, who are watching this, who are interested in products, I'll just say this. This is a very male-oriented brand product. If you can see, like, Vital Energy Now, fire. Like, I have a hard time with it sometimes because, again, he's not being specific. He's saying, shop the latest Tony Robbins products and start your new beginning. What does that even mean, beginning-wise? Discover strategies that can use to reveal your inner power and create a life of meaning and fulfillment. But what? Achieve your goals right now. Okay, boost your health, enhance your relationships, become the best version of yourself. So the thing with this piece, like the boost your health type of thing, it's really hard for me to get my mind around. For the boost your health, okay, you're doing some type of like vital energy product, I'm assuming. but then enhance your relationships. And this, like, to me, it's whenever I see these type of things, again, I don't have a problem with shorter copy. I have a problem with really vague copy, but because, again, he is a bigger brand, I'm trying not to, like, be more critical than I should be. But to me, whenever I read this, discover strategies, it's like, what? What strategies? And also, what does life of a meaning and fulfillment mean to your ideal client? Because he has so many, he kind of has to be vague. But for most of you who are, I would say, at least under $1 million revenue, you should be able to talk a lot more specific about your people, especially if you have like an offer you're trying to sell, a specific one. So the rest of these are going to be like little variations of the same thing. If you want me to do more of these ads for him, let me know in the comments below, and I can definitely do that. But I want to try and run through a little bit more people if that's possible. Be more specific, not as him. This is not my advice to him. I don't think his ad agency or whoever he uses internally is going to change anything because of what I said. But for those who are listening who aren't at his level, please take an advisement to what I mentioned. Let's go next to Marie FORLEO, because she is, I would say, one of the bigger names in the industry as well, for the online industry, especially for a lot of my clients. So you'll see here, she has no money or ads going to social, like, what's it called, to elections or to politics, so it's not going to show up here. She never changed her page name. Kudos. I think I changed mine like twice. And then she has her Instagram linked up here. And the cool thing is too, which I forgot to mention, is that you can actually see which one's running where. So this one's running only on Instagram, this one's running on Facebook. For a lot of you who are just starting out, if you have a small budget, you can actually run the same ad on both platforms to make it a little bit cheaper for you. But because she has a little bit bigger of a budget, she's able to kind of like have one go for the other. So just want to say that. But I want to go into this because she has a vastly different strategy than Tony Robbins does. Because she's someone who is, again, a more personable brand, she realized that she is the face of her company versus Tony Robbins is more detached. He kind of, you only see him if you pay, versus she actually shows up for it. And the agency, whoever she uses, is really helping you see the more personable approach, which I do recommend right now, is because a lot of people are craving more resonance, more connection that you can find through normal posts along with ads. So for a lot of you, especially going forward, from a couple of the other ads I'll be showing you, you'll be able to see that. So the first thing that you're going to see here is she is doing a couple variations of goals. So again, for those who don't know, go to the first video. I talked about really choosing which of your ad goals to do, because it's going to depend on which ads you actually perform with the copy and graphics and so forth. We'll see that she's split. So these first two ones are around her actual writing workshop, which is totally great. Happy for her. I'm assuming it's fine. She's ramping up. I've been in her orbit for years, so I know that she's amping up to her copy cure type of thing, so that's why she's having that there. But the left one is really interesting for those who don't know, is that this type of ad is actually going to try and help get her more followers and more likes on Instagram, versus these ones are specifically going towards her writing mistakes workshop. And you'll see a lot of bigger influencers or industry leaders are going to be adding this type of ad goal into the mix, because again, Instagram is becoming bigger. It's huge now, but they're really trying to ramp up their stake in the industry, and one of the ways is by having an ad literally just go to their Instagram to help you and kind of remind you to follow them. So this one is here. Again, if you have the budget for it, awesome. For most of you, I recommend staying in these routes of the writing workshop, because that's going to actually show you really proven results. They're going to be able to see the actual leads come from that in your webinar, and then in your email list. Once they're in your email list, you have them until they unsubscribe. So it's why I recommend doing these ones first versus this, because again, when it comes to, let's say you get someone on the follower list for your Instagram, still right now, organic reach is under 4% of your whole entire audience. So even if you get those people on there, if you're not running consistent ads or consistent ways of really getting them to increase your organic reach, this type of ad might not really help you that much. So as you'll see here, again, she has more of a personable brand. So even in her writing for the ad copy, you're going to see emojis, you're going to see using contractions, because that's how she talks. If you look at her YouTube videos or whatever she's on, you'll see that. Versus before, if you looked at Tony Robbins, it was so vague, I couldn't tell you if it was for him or for like 10 other industry leaders. So you'll see here, I want to go into the small one. So again, she changes up the graphics, she changes up the copy. For those who have the ability to, obviously I recommend it. So you'll see here, she has just 2 variations of copy and about 2 variations of graphics. And kind of, again, the reason why there's so many variations of that you'll see on the page is because the different audiences she's choosing has to connect to that ad. So if she's doing one for coaches, this is going to be just one of those ads, one for course creators, for the other ads. So even though you'll see 10 of these, they're for each a different audience she's trying to target. So you'll see here, if you run a small business and if you stay open, your message is more important than you think. Again, everyone is making a nod to. And she's saying, I'm holding a free live workshop on the 5 mistakes that you can't afford to make in your business and how to fix them. Again, at least she's being a little more specific, which I really like. I really commend her on. The one thing I will say is that she doesn't really talk about who this would be right for. Obviously, she says 5 writing mistakes you can afford to make in your business, but it doesn't really say what type of business you have or even the writing mistakes you might be going towards. So again, this is why it's important to really test those long and short copy, because this might be doing great for her, but maybe for those who don't really see the reason into it, like, is it actually going to work for my business? Is it actually going to work for me? They're probably not going to click on it. Versus this one says, hey, if you run a small business and you're able to be open right now, your message is more important than ever. So again, you'll see it's a very similar type of thing, but she at least calls out a small business. So kudos to her on doing that. The number 1 reason that most well-written copy fails, the 5-word mantra. So you'll see this come up a lot, especially for those who are doing something like her, which is kind of a workshop webinar. Facebook is wanting you to be even more specific around your ad copy because they want to make sure that your user experience for whoever comes in your orbit is really transparent. So that's why she has to put this like a 5-word mantra that guarantees you'll never write boring, jumbly, or rambling copy again. Because yes, it's helping the audience know like, oh, that's really interesting. But in Facebook eyes, it's helping it be more specific so that they don't feel like you're just giving them something vague or not really showing what's the promise, because that's what Facebook wants you to show is like, what is the promise you're able to communicate to your audience and how specific can you make it so that they know it's an easy yes for them. And then last thing, click here to learn more to save your spot. Always have the call to action for the love of God, because if you don't, you really lose all of those people who are mindlessly scrolling and need to be told what to do. If you just kind of leave it at the register now or do it here, they're not really going to have that type of push, that type of, okay, I need you to actually click here to learn more and register. They're not going to have that type of action taker energy that you would get from people who are actively on the workshop or who are actually going on to Instagram for your business. So again, always have a call to action, make it as specific as possible, and make sure it's in line with whatever the button says. So I'm going to leave that here because I feel like I've been rambling for a bit around all the ads from both Marie Forleo and Tony Robbins, but I do have a bunch more that I can go into when it comes to, I think there's Pat Flynn, there's Amy Porterfield, there's David Dobrik, all these people in there, they're running ads, and it can help you at least kind of see what's working best for them and what you can kind of take away from them as well. So if you like that, be sure to put a comment below and let me know who would you like to see next and if you had any takeaways come from this video. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.